Okay, so today we will talk about past continuous. So repeat it to me, past continuous.
Past continuous.
I was speaking, I was speaking.
I was speaking.
Particular, particular.
Particular.
While.
While.
So while it's like during. Particular, it's like especially. And so we use the present continuous for an action that is in progress now. For example, I am speaking English now. So repeat it to me. I am speaking English now.
I'm speaking English now.
Mm-hmm. And now I will share my screen with you. So do you see Charlie?
Yes.
So present continuous, it's action today. Charlie is playing his guitar, is playing. And past continuous, it's an action that he did yesterday. Charlie was playing his guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we'll back to past continuous. So we use the past continuous for an action that was in progress at a particular time in the past. For example, I was speaking English at this time yesterday, and Charlie was playing his guitar at this time yesterday. So repeat after me. I was speaking English at this time yesterday.
I was speaking English at this time yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So if I say I was sleeping at 4 o'clock this morning, it means that I went to sleep before 4 o'clock and I woke up after 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, I was in the middle of period of sleeping. So when do we use the present continuous? When do we use the present continuous? We use the present continuous.
The present continuous when we are speaking about action now.
That is in progress now,
that is in progress now.
Mm-hmm. For example, I'm speaking English now.
I'm speaking English now.
So when do we use past continuous? When do we use past continuous? We use past continuous.
Past continuous when we are speaking about
action
that
was in progress.
That was in progress
at a particular time in the past.
At a particular time at the past.
In the past.
In the past.
For example, I was speaking English on this time on Monday.
I was speaking English at this time on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the most common use of past continuous is to say that action was in progress when another action happened. For example, I was cooking dinner, I was cooking lunch when she arrived. So repeat after me. I was cooking lunch when she arrived.
When she arrived.
Mm-hmm. Arrived. Mm-hmm. So it means that when she arrived, I was in the middle of cooking lunch. So were you chatting to anybody when I came into the room at the beginning of the lesson? Were you chatting to anybody when I came into the online classroom at the beginning of the lesson? Yes, no?
No, I wasn't chatting
to anybody.
To anybody when
you came into the online classroom.
Into online classroom
at the beginning of the lesson.
At the beginning of the lesson.
So were the students standing or sitting when I left the classroom at the end of the last lesson? Were the students standing or sitting when I left the classroom at the end of the last lesson? The students were
sitting
when you left the classroom.
When you left the classroom
at the end of the last
lesson.
So was it raining while you were coming to school today? So we have here two actions. Was it raining while you were coming to online lesson today? Yes, no?
No, it
Wasn't.
No,
It wasn't raining
raining when I come.
while I was coming
While I was coming
to online lesson today.
Online lesson today.
It was raining and you were coming. So what were you doing at this time last Sunday? What were you doing at this time at 11 a.m. last Sunday? I was sleeping.
Sleeping, yes. I was sleeping in this time. At this time
last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
So do you think most people in this town were sleeping at midnight last night? Do you think most people in this town were sleeping at midnight last night? Yes, no?
Yes, I think most people were sleeping
at midnight.
At midnight last night.
So where were you living 10 years ago? Where were you living 10 years ago? I was living
in Strelka 10 years ago.
Okay, so repeat after me. And it's like to obtain money when you work. So about how much does a doctor earn a year in your country? About how much does a doctor how much does a doctor earn a year in your country? A doctor earns about.
A doctor earns about.
Earns about.
Earn about.
Earns about. About.
Earn about
10,000 hryvnias a year.
A year in
my country. Okay. Formal. Informal. Jeans. Trainer. And how do you do? So formal, it's done with rules or etiquette. And informal is the opposite of formal. Jeans, so you know these words, it's like trousers, and trainers, it's sports shoes. How do you do? It's like, how are you? Another variant of saying, how are you? So would it be okay for a man to wear jeans and trainers if he was going to a formal dinner? So would it be okay for a man to wear jeans and trainers if he was going for a formal dinner? No, it wouldn't be okay.
No, it wouldn't be okay for man to wear
jeans and trainers.
To wear jeans and trainers.
If he was going.
If he was going
to a formal dinner.
To a formal dinner.
He should wear suit and tie.
He should wear suit and tie.
So when we meet somebody for the first time, what can we say? When we meet somebody for the first time, what can we say? When we meet somebody
for the first time, we can say,
nice to meet you. And what do we say if we want to be more formal? What do we say if we want to be more formal? If we want to be more formal, we can say,
how do you do?
And what does the other person reply? What does the other person reply? The other person replies.
The other just. I'm sorry. The other person
replies. Also, how do you do? And next word, persuade. Persuade. So it asks somebody to do something because it's very important, for example, for us or for somebody else. So is it easy to persuade people to give their money away? Is it easy to persuade people to give their money away? No, it isn't easy.
No, it isn't easy to
Persuade
people giving their money away.
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
And next word, hairdresser. So hairdresser is the person who cuts our hair. So how often do you go to the hairdressers? How often do you go to the hairdressers? I go to the hairdressers.
I go to the hairdresser for about 2 times a year or 3 times a year.
Okay. Next word, soul.
So
interesting. And exciting. So it's like very interesting when you want something to know or to do something. And interesting is the opposite of boring. And exciting, it's very interesting. So why do you think some films are so popular? Why do you think some films are so popular? I think some films
are so popular. Because
they tell interesting and exciting stories.
They tell interesting and exciting stories.
And next word, grammatically. So it's from the word grammar. So is it grammatically correct to say, I've seen her yesterday? Is it grammatically correct to say, I've seen her yesterday? I have seen. No, it isn't. It isn't
correctly.
Grammatically correct.
Grammatically correctly
not correctly, grammatically correct.
Grammatically correct.
To say I've seen her yesterday.
I've seen her yesterday.
We should say I saw her yesterday instead.
We should say I saw
her instead.
Instead.
Or so we can say I have seen her, or I saw her yesterday. I have seen her, it's present perfect, and I saw her yesterday, it's past simple.